Most internet connection issues we face at home or work stem from our ISP's subpar routers, which are far from optimal for our work needs. Today we're looking at a highly rated all-in-one router, the AVM Fritzbox 5590 fiber with a built-in fiber optic adapter for direct connection, integrated ONT, Wi-Fi 6, and other features we'll explore in this video. Stay tuned because this is test ground. Here it is, the AVM Fritzbox 5590 fiber. Why fiber? Because it has a fiber optic port with built-in ONT. This means you can plug the fiber cable straight into the router without needing an extra device. The Fritzbox 5590 has 2.5 GB and 1 GB LAN ports, enabling super fast wired connections. And that's not all. It also features two USB 3.0 ports for external devices. Phone connectivity sets AVM routers apart with their ability to handle landlines. This model has two RJ11 ports for landlines and supports DECT, a standard for cordless phones. You can link up to 6 cordless phones and manage them easily. It comes with Wi-Fi 6, reaching speeds up to 1,200 megabits per second on the 2.4 gigahertz band. While on 5 gigahertz, it can hit speeds of up to 2,400 megabits per second. One standout feature of this router is its support for fiber connections up to 10 Gbps. As always, let's unbox this device. On the top back, we see an image of the router, its model, and some features. The blue color with its top mark is quite eye-catching and attractive. On this edge, we also have an image of the router with its model. The back shows various device functions in different languages. It highlights the key features of the device. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Opening it, we see the router in its box protected by plastic wrap. We'll remove this plastic wrap to get a better look. Its design is cool, formal but with a nice red accent. It has 5 LEDs, power button, WLAN button, phone port, WPS, and info button. These 3 buttons are clickable. It has a white finish on top and a red ventilation grill. On the right edge, there's a USB 3.0 port. It's ventilated on all sides, top, back, left, and bottom. No internal fan, just lots of vents all around. At the back, there's a fiber optic transceiver on the left. This is the 1 GB version, upgradable to 10 GB. 2 RJ11 ports for analog phones and a 1 port for bridge mode, which I'll explain later, for bridging if you don't have fiber at home to directly connect your internet input here. 4 1 Gbps LAN ports, power input, and another USB port. These 2 USB 3.0 ports let us connect a server and set up an NAS at home. It's formal and serious, yet attractive with that red accent. It adds a fun touch without being too plain. Below that, we find the instruction manual, another booklet detailing the connection process, and a comprehensive quick start guide. Lastly, there's a card with the password, QR code for access, and LED indicator specifications explaining what each light means. Underneath we have the power adapter, which takes 240 volts input and outputs 12 volts at 2.5 amps, 30 watts total to power this device. There's also a network cable, looks like Cat6 from the wires, though it's not labeled. So that's what comes in the box. Now let's see how to connect it, how it works, and how to set it up. Now we're going to directly connect the cables. We'll connect the computer's network cable to LAN port 1, the first output. Don't forget the SC-LC cable, which we bought and have here. We need this cable because the rosette has an LC connector, which is this cable here with a chunkier, more square head. For the router's integrated FP, we need an SC input, which is this one. As you can see, LC and SC are different connectors for the same fiber cable to connect to the router and rosette. To show the difference, I'll leave this connected and plug our fiber cable directly into the rosette. This new router has 3 cables, power, fiber, and LAN. RJ, you'll see, I'm going to show you the difference from my previous setup. This is what I had set up before. As you can see, power cables, logic, the ONT for internet, the RJ45, and the fiber LC. Fiber LC to the outlet, ONT to router via RJ45 for direct connection, and RJ45 from router to PC. Let's go to the connection area to set up and configure the router, see how it works. We'll look at how to configure the router's intranet settings and specifications, but first, let's connect the power cable, which we have here. I've placed the router here so we can see it clearly. We'll connect the RJ45 cable to the PC or tower, and we'll connect the fiber cable to the outlet. We only have these 3 connections that we'll make directly to get the device working. Here we see everything connected. First, we'll connect the fiber cable directly to the outlet. It's connected. Now we'll plug in the power cord and finally connect the RJ45 to the computer. I don't have much light here, so I'm going to brighten things up a bit. The RJ45 is connected to the computer. All cables run up here, and we have them here. The power and LAN lights are on as the network cable signal and power are coming through. We now have the Fritzbox and the device's own Wi-Fi access point to access its intranet, web page, router settings, and the unidentified network cable. It's connected but says no internet access. That's expected right now. So let's go directly to fritz.box, as instructed. We're at the welcome page after restart. Let's enter the password and select the internet provider. Choose other provider, then orange. We'll use the required ONT information here. I've got the ONT key on a note. Your provider should give you this for setup. Now connect to the fiber network. Enter the modem ID. We can see the process steps here. We finished configuring the router. We're now on the router's main page, where all menus are. We'll show a screenshot of each menu next. Here we have the overview showing connection interface, calls, local network devices, and other services. The Internet section displays a monitor showing connection speed, IPv, downloads, uploads, and peak usage. A counter shows online time, data usage, and access details, which can be changed if we switch providers. IPv6, AVM, and DNS services, filters for blocking Internet access, access profiles, and network prioritization rules. Allow lists, filters, IP blocking, port forwarding, Fritz services, DIN DNS VPN for secure network access, and WireGuard VPN for app control with additional VPN settings and features. My Fritz account, fiber optic info, data usage, fiber properties, SFP details, connection stats, fiber temp, power in dB, phone features like call management, dialing help, voicemail, and contacts. Alarm we can set up, alarm clock 1, alarm clock 2, alarm clock 3. Using the phones we've connected, we can also use them as alarm clocks, fax, call management, call bio, indirect dialing, dialing rules, provider prefixes, phone 1, phone 2. We can configure the extension's internal number, our own numbers, connection configuration, voice transmission. Here we have the DECT configuration for these wireless phones we're going to connect. Up to 6, the local network to configure our MES network. Here we can choose, depending on our devices, how we'll use it, network connections and settings, USB, how we'll use the USB drive, remote connection, free box name for local network, Wi-Fi, wireless network name, password, connected devices, Wi-Fi channel, 2.4G or 5G, I have 5G active. Mobile connection, WPA security, Wi-Fi key, WPS, Wi-Fi timer to set off times, home automation with groups, automation, templates, routines, device usage, diagnostics, quick check of all ports, DECT, all router settings are correct. In the system section, we have events showing what's happening at all times, a log, energy monitor, energy usage stats, notifications, restore protection, reboot, or factory reset, system updates. We're on version 7.81 now. As I mentioned, there are step-by-step assistance to set up all parameters and help that gives access to all features in the app's browser. In My Freeze, we have panels managing everything happening on the router and network, call management, NAS storage, other services, and home automation. In FreezeNAS, we can create and change folders, upload documents, and access them from anywhere if connected to our router's IP. We're doing a series of tests, starting with Ookla. I have a 600 MB plan at home, and it's hitting the max. Download speed is currently 654.17 MB, and upload is 659.74 MB with 3 ping. It's a super symmetric and fast connection. Now for the Movistar test, we start and it's hovering around 659, almost 660. The upload speed is 649 with 5 ms latency and 1 ms fluctuation. Pretty good too. Just set up 5G. Let's check the speed here. Starting the test, it's nearly as fast as wired. We're seeing 132, or rather 593, almost 600 MB download and 132 upload. Let's move around the house. We're a bit far now, 103 and 60, 70, still quite strong. Entering the bedroom about 10-15 meters away, we repeat 200 MB without repeaters. If I had one, I'd probably get the same signal strength. And I want to tell you that it was super easy for me to set up. I'm not a network expert and I don't have any special skills for configuring IPs, DNS or anything like that. I simply requested the ONT from my provider. I plugged it in and checked what parameters my provider uses, just to be clear when configuring. And well, the truth is it works great. It's very fast and I've tested the Wi-Fi throughout the house. It works super well. I've had no issues, no drops. And when I ran a speed test, it reached over 600 megabits per second. I have a 600 megabits per second plan, so that's great. It's currently on the market for about 300 euros, give or take. The price may vary slightly depending on the platform. As always, we'll list all the marketplaces so you can see and buy it. And remember, we're talking about this specific router product. We also have these 1200 AX repeaters and others on their page. Well, we can have a giant mesh network around our house without losing connection, especially if we have a large multi-story or spacious home. We won't lose connection at any point and can work with these devices simultaneously. It plugs directly into the power outlet. And just press a button to set it up. It's super simple. They've made it very user-friendly. Please leave a comment. What did you think of the video and the product? Like the video? Subscribe if you haven't, and hit the bell for future updates. See you in the next episode of Test Ground. Take care.